Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are doing a bonus episode right now. We're going to call it episode 2.5. I already uploaded it to the podcast as well, so if you prefer the audio only, it's only 13 minutes. This one's going to be pretty short too, for the most part, and comparatively, but it's up there if you prefer the audio. Now, we are going to cover Google Chrome a little bit, and I'm going to give 3 tips on how you could be more efficient with Google Chrome. And so let's just get right into it. The first one that I'm going to give is to understand your options with settings. So when you're in Google Chrome, and Google Chrome is it's a web browser. It's similar to Firefox or Internet Edge. It's how you end up surfing the web. But because you use it on a daily basis, it's important to understand how it functions. It's more than just an avenue to get you from point A to point B on the websites. Right? It's more than just searching. It's more than just being able to get to Google Classroom or Google Docs or CNN.com or Fox News or any of those. And so when you're in Google Chrome and the logo's down here, it's the red, yellow, green with the blue icon. When you're in Google Chrome, if you go to the right-hand side, right up here where you see the 3 dots, all the way up at the top right, you'll see it's next to my account, and you should have this as well. This is like your parent account that's controlling everything else. And notice I have my account here saying that I'm logged into Google Docs with my Google account right here, but I also have the account up at the top because this has more to do with this actual browser, and I could add other people. As you can see, I have other accounts on my computer that can also use this, including a guest, right? And it'll bring up something different if I'm browsing as a guest, right? And so you can do that. Notice now it's guest. If I switch to any of my other accounts, you can do that as well. So if you have kids, this is a good thing to do. Otherwise, if you just have the one, every time you log into stuff, it's going to be your account, right? So just have them add their different accounts here, and you can manage the account and add different people that are authorized to use it, and they could just switch between that way. It's so much easier. But right to the right of that little icon is the 3 dots, and if you click that and you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see settings. And so if you click on settings, there's a lot you can do here. You can manage your account, you can change your name and picture, you can import different bookmarks from other places that you've had, you can autofill your passwords, and you could also check what you already have autofilled. I'm not going to click on it because I have some that are autofilled, and you can check out what your passwords are. It's a little scary when you think about it because it can store all that information. You could have payment methods, so on and so forth, but we're going to go all the way down to Bookmarks Bar. And so if I'm looking, it's really tiny. There it is, right? It's underneath Appearance. You have the option of showing the Bookmarks Bar. Now, what is a Bookmark Bar? It is your way of kind of saving websites, but specifically creating shortcuts on this page that you're looking at right here, up at the top below the URL code, right? And the URL is like where you type in www. Like up here, it's docs.google.com, and then a bunch of numbers telling me it's this Google Doc, right? That's the URL. So underneath this white space right here is the Bookmark Bar. Now, I don't know if it's on by default or not. It probably is, which is why by default you might even have one bookmark already, which is the apps button over here. But I'm going to turn it off, right? If you have it off, notice there's no white space. So in order to get that white space and have bookmarks, you have to go into your settings like I showed you, and you need to go ahead and toggle the Show Bookmarks Bar on. And now you have the white space. Now, how do you actually go about adding bookmarks? Well, I'm going to go to our Google Classroom here, and let's say I wanted to bookmark this page. So that way I don't have to type in Google Classroom every time. You see the URL up at the top. All the way to the right, you see a bookmark button, which is the star. Go ahead and click that, and it gives you an option to name it. Now, I really recommend having smaller names because as you see, it added the bookmark over towards the left, but I can't see the whole name. So I might just say Google Training. Now, you can choose which folder it goes to. I'm choosing the Bookmarks Bar, so that way it actually shows up on this page right at the top. But you do have other options. You can choose to just label it as Other. You can choose to put it as a mobile bookmark, which means it can sync with your phone as well. Or you can choose another folder and you can create whatever folders you want. So if you have a teaching resources folder, and anytime you come across an article that you want to keep for teaching, you could just bookmark it and file it there. You don't want to do what I did, where for a couple years, I kid you not, I was bookmarking a lot of websites because whenever something interested me, I bookmarked it. But the problem was I never filed it anywhere and I didn't organize it. So when I went in not that long ago and I looked at my bookmarks, I had hundreds. And if you bookmark too many things without organizing it, there's no way you can find what you want. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now I have a bookmark right here. Right, again, I'll show that. Let's say I want to go to Giants.com. Right, I'm a New York Giants fan. So right now I want to bookmark this. I'm going to go over to the right-hand side of the URL, and I'm going to click on the star. Bookmark this tab. Giants home. I don't even need it to be this long. I could just have it say Giants. Boom. And now I also have the picture with the logo. Now what does this do for me? Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close out of this entire Google Chrome, right? I closed out. I'm going to go back into it now. And as you can see, my bookmarks are there. So if I wanted to go to Giants.com, I could just quickly click on it. It is much easier than Google searching things that I want, etc., right? It just creates a shortcut for me to do this. One idea that I have for this actually is if you have multiple Google Classrooms, right? Let's say you teach in 4 classes, you have a Google Classroom for each class. You could bookmark each individual class and have it on your Bookmarks bar. That way, you can click and rename it and say if it's 9th grade English, 10th grade English, 11th, so on and so forth. You could just click it and go to that specific page much easier. You could even make it go straight to the to-do list page in Google Classroom, so that way you know what you need to grade. So it's a lot easier. It does save you time. Number 2, you can choose what web page Chrome opens to whenever you start it up. So I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to exit out of all of this again. It's gone. And I'm going to open up Chrome. Now notice what comes up for me. Google Classroom does. That's now my home page. And I have a second tab come up, which is the Apps tab, which is also over here. The Apps tab is helpful, and I really like it. This really I'm going to make during the summer my home page because I don't need Google Classroom as much. But I could have a bunch of different shortcuts to these apps. Right? And if you want to know how to toggle on, if you don't see the apps, if you right-click on the bookmark bar, and again, you need to have the bookmark bar in order to do it, so you got to go through step 1. I'm going to right-click, and down at the bottom there, I can toggle on Show App Shortcuts. So I just toggle it off. I'm going to go, and I'm going to toggle it on. And you can make this a home page, which is very helpful. So if you want to know how to add different pages that come up on the startup, you want to go to the settings options again. So in the right hand corner, I'm going to click on the 3 dots, going to click on settings, and then on the left hand side you'll see all the categories, or you could just scroll, it's one continuous page. But the left hand side you'll see down towards the bottom it says on startup. I want to click on that. Now on startup, I can open the new tab page. I can continue wherever I left off in a previous browsing session, or I can open a specific page or set of pages. And notice all I did was add Google Classroom. So let's say I wanted to add a new page. I would click add new page, and then I would just put in the URL. Right? So we used Giants.com before, so let's say I want during football season Giants.com to always go. I'm going to go ahead. I probably could have just put in Giants.com, but I'm going to go ahead, add new page. I'm going to add the URL there, add it, and now it's going to open up for me. And I'll test it out, right? I'm going to exit out of everything. I'm going to go back in. And now, as you can see, I have 3 pages that open on the startup, including Giants.com. Now, the third tip I'm going to give you to be more efficient with Google Chrome is to try a different theme. Now, we're usually familiar with themes with like our phones and stuff. It's just changing the layout and it's changing the look of it. Oftentimes the color. Same thing with Google Classroom. It has different themes, right? So the way I do that is, again, in the settings. So I'm going to go to the upper right-hand corner, click on the 3 dots, go down to settings, and I'm going to go to where it says appearance on the left-hand side, or I could just scroll. So appearance, and as you can see, the first option here is themes, and it says open Chrome Web Store, Chrome Web Store is awesome because there's a lot of free stuff there, not just for themes, but also add-ons and extensions. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to bring me there. Now, these are all different themes of how I can make my Chrome web page look different. You can go with dark themes, colorful, space. They have minimalistic ones. They have enchanting places, they call it, superheroes. And you could give this to students too and tell them how to do it, so that way they feel more personal touch to their Chromebooks or whatever. Cars, there's sports, there's a lot. So I'm going to go up to the top. I'm going to pick this high contrast colorful. I'm going to click on it. And then when you have whatever you want, you're going to hit add to Chrome. And notice it already changed it. And the high contrast colors are, we got yellow over here and blue. And I actually really like this, the way it looks, because I can see things better. Now, I'm going to hit undo. Notice how different it's going to look. Undo, right? This is just all white. It's not as easy to see things, but add to Chrome. Boom. Now it's more colorful. So to conclude here, I just want to say that Google Chrome is more than just a place to visit other places. It's more than just your driver to get from one website to another. We need to leverage the abilities it has so that we could actually be more productive and efficient. Plus, it kind of looks cool with all the different add-ons that they have and extensions and ways to change the look. So play around with it. Doesn't take long at all. Everything is kind of initiated from the settings, which is in the upper right-hand corner with the 3 dots. Just click on settings, play around with it, and if you get stuck, Google something. You'll find your way out of it and it'll be fine. But this is our bonus material and bonus episode. I hope there was something that you can take away and start implementing in your life right now.